So now a follow-up to our WSAZ investigation. We told you earlier this month about a Milton city worker who died on the job. Officials say that Paul Linville was installing a sewer tap when a trench collapsed, killing him.
And after Linville's death, we started asking questions about workplace fatalities involving city employees and what is being done to prevent a similar tragedy. As WSAZ's Charlie Roth found, safeguards and state support aren't automatic.
It was a routine job, installing a sewer tap for a newly constructed home in Milton. Public Works Director Mike Ramsey says he never imagined when one of his employees, Paul Linville, got down into a trench to complete that job, that it would be his last.
As soon as he got in there, everything just caved on him, and there was, there was just no escape for him. There was a step downside, but it was on the side that caved, so there was nowhere for him to go.
Ramsey says Paul wasn't just an employee, he was a friend.
Well, Paul was a great guy. I mean, everybody liked Paul. He was a permanent fixture here for the city for many years. He worked here 17 years. Paul was the kind of guy that came in at about 5 o'clock in the morning and sat and drank his coffee and, just talked about the day and things going on.
Any favorite stories of him?
One of the funny things about Paul is we were working overtime because we had a flooding event, and he was worried about getting home, so he set up a cot over in the maintenance building and stayed the whole night in a cot. So yeah, that's the kind of guy Paul was, but he would do anything for anybody, and he was just a generally good guy.
Ramsey says he had just left the site where Paul was working to install the sewer tap on August 7th when he got the call about the incident.
Come back around the block, came back over to the office and got a call, and something happened to Paul, so I sped back over there as fast as I could.
When Ramsey got back to the site, he says Paul was trapped in the dirt, and while they tried to get him out quickly, Paul died from his injuries. So we started asking the city and state questions, including who investigates on the job fatalities involving city employees, what type of training is required for these employees, and what safety equipment is required for these types of jobs. Here's what we found. The West Virginia Division of Labor tells us unless a county or municipality opts in, there are no requirements and/or regulations that would apply to county or municipal employees under the West Virginia Occupational Safety and Health Act. The short version, without opting into state coverage, counties, cities, and municipalities are not required to train employees, provide any safety equipment, or even investigate a fatality.
Did you ever think you would be in this situation where you're mourning the loss of an employee and a friend, and the investigation falls on you?
No, I mean, never in a million years would you think that you're going to lose somebody at work.
We followed up with the Division of Labor asking for more information on the opt-in coverage. They tell us that coverage lasts for 1 year. And as for how many counties, municipalities, or other local government agencies are currently opted into that program, they say that number is 0.
I think everybody should have been opted in, but, here we are.
The Division of Labor also says it offers and provides OSHA training to municipalities if requested, but no one has requested that training in the last 3 years.
Would you be interested in a state program to help?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything the state would offer, we would send our guys to it, or we would even host it for other, and we would host it for everybody. We'd host it for any other municipality would be interested, or anybody that deals with confined spaces or trenching. So yeah, absolutely. Anything the state can do, we will take help. We just have to do the right thing going forward, because even if there's no protocols that you are setting standards, we're going to have them anyway and follow them, and that's just all there is to it, because we can't have an event like this ever happen again.
Ramsey told us that he doesn't have anyone qualified to investigate Linville's death and is still working to figure out what happens next. We've reached out to members of the legislature about potential changes to state code, and Delegate Dana Farrell gave us this statement that reads, "My heart goes out to the family and friends of the Milton city worker that was killed on the job last week. The accident is absolutely tragic, and as public officials, it is our job to do all we can to make sure incidents like this never happen again. in my capacity as chair of the House Local Governments Committee, I plan to do a full review of our state and local safety regulations to ensure the highest standards are upheld to protect our state's workers.
Okay, so Charlie, if the legislature does propose these changes, they wouldn't even happen until the 2026 session. Right. So is there anything that can be done now in the meantime?
Yeah, Taylor, the only action that would be an executive order from the governor's office requiring counties and cities and municipalities to adopt current OSHA standards. We've reached out to the governor's office for comment. They sent us a statement this afternoon saying, "We are deeply saddened to hear of the tragic death of the city worker in Milton. The Occupational Safety and Health Act empowers the State Division of Labor to set safety standards for public employees, but under that 1987 statute, these standards only apply to local governments that elect to have their workplaces and employees covered by those standards. Any counties or municipality wishing to opt in to those standards should contact the State Division of Labor, who stands ready to help them through the election process and to aid them in creating a safe working environment for their employees."
Okay, Charlie, thank you for reporting on this. And we did send the City of Milton a Freedom of Information Act request asking for a copy of the work order for that sewer tap project being installed by Linville at the time of his death.
So we also requested a list of the safety equipment and gear being used at the time of the incident. The city tells WSAZ Mr. Linville did not have any equipment other than a shovel with him at the time. However, moving forward, the Public Works Director, Mr. Ramsey, says that the city will purchase safety equipment no matter the cost if that is something that's required.